Representative Nancy Mace is trashing GOP leadership and asking, what's the point of Congress? It's a great question. In a recent op-ed for the New York Times, Congresswoman has been in office for nearly 5 years, but could be giving up her seat maybe as she runs to be the next governor of South Carolina.
She expresses deep frustrations with the inner workings of Congress in her op-ed, and she accuses House Speaker Mike Johnson of failing to listen to the women in his party. She writes, quote, "A small number of lawmakers negotiate major legislation behind closed doors and spring it on members with little notice or opportunity for input. Leadership promises members their provisions will be in a bill, then strips them out in final drafts. Speaker Mike Johnson is better than his predecessor," she adds, "but the frustrations of being a rank-and-file House member are compounded as certain individuals or groups remain marginalised within the party, getting little say. Women will never be taken seriously until leadership decides to take us seriously, and I'm no longer holding my breath." Meanwhile, Mace continues to deal with the fallout from an incident that went viral where she was accused of verbally assailing workers at the Charleston International Airport.
An internal investigation said the airport does bear some responsibility because officers were incorrectly informed of what vehicle Mace would be arriving in, which led to this delay, but the airport still found that Mace was ultimately at fault for the incident because of her behavior at the TSA checkpoint. Now, the report obtained by the Washington Post concludes her continued failure to follow established procedures at the checkpoint is what turned a minor miscommunication over the color of a vehicle into the spectacle that this issue has become for our employees and airport workers.
Mace, however, continues to deny that she ever screamed expletives at workers. She even accused the police report of being at least partially falsified. And she says the whole thing is a, quote, political hit job from South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. Nancy.
I don't know about that. Well, it's kind of a he said, she said situation.
It's not that much
don't
of a he said,
quite
she said.
doubt that her behavior at this airport was a little embarrassing for her. It all behooves us to keep our cool at the airport, even as we are very frustrated by TSA sometimes. I get it.
But she does seem to have done a don't you know who I am thing.
Exactly.
Do you do that when you're frustrated? Do you say, I'm the co-host of Rising, let me through?
I do not. Although, not that I'm identified all the time, but the most likely place where someone would go, oh my God, you're on Rising, I love Rising, is at the airport. It's happened to me at a couple different airports. Now, though we have criticized Nancy Mace's personal conduct and some of the issues she seems to be going through of a psychological nature, I thought the op-ed was perfectly good, and I agreed with it, and Congress has become useless, and it's leadership. It's mostly on the leadership, refusing to let amendments be brought to the floor, refusing to let actual debate happen. Nothing gets voted on unless leadership has already signed off on it. Mike Johnson is far from the first person to behave in that way, as she notes, but is well in keeping with that tradition. And I don't know that it's a women versus others thing exactly. That is a through line that the mainstream media is pushing. We tried to ask Amber about that the other day, and she demurred. She would not give a strong view.
Going to be too collectivized on this, but I do think it is interesting the fact that Mace and Marjorie Taylor Greene and others have made that specific argument. The broader argument about Congress and proper procedures being followed and whether it is open enough to members' points of view, all those are perfectly normal and kind of standard arguments. The op-ed under someone else's name would probably not have caused any stir because they're so well established arguments. But it is interesting to see these Republican women arguing that women within their conference are being kind of marginalised.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see. Up next, President Trump gave a speech on the economy yesterday, and he may have handed a gift to Democrats. I'll discuss more of that in my notes. Stick around for that.